Alright, I believe the livening has happened. We is alive. Fairy doing its thing. Cool, cool. Okay, that's all on Discord. I forgot to open up a Chrome window. Alright, and Twitter's the last one. go. Jeez. Alright. I need to grab another bottle of water. Oops. I will be back in a moment. Alright, there we go. About 4 minutes before I have to start. Which I guess I can use that time as a recap. So, last time on Tales of Arise, things got intense. We went to the moon in order to... Not the moon, to the moon-like space station known as Linegus in order to figure out what's going on with the wedge and the beam of energy that it... the beam of astral energy that it was trying to steal from our planet. And when we got there, we were surprised by what we found, because the people there didn't seem to know that this was going to happen, and everything had been wrecked. Their homes and everything, and like the pathways to their homes and stuff. People were super lost. They didn't know where to go or anything like that. And so we wandered the street talking to these people. Found out a little bit about how the Renans on Linegus were basically suppressed in a more religious type way. Basically, they had the sovereign moves in mysterious ways. Trust in the sovereign knows all type situation. Basically, worshiping the sovereign without even knowing who the sovereign actually is. And we also learned about the Lords and how they were actually pretty decent people up here on Linegus, which still doesn't excuse the fact that they were completely fucking terrible people on Dhana. Well, except for Volron, who apparently just usurped the throne. And as we continued, we found a way to a forbidden section using Alphen's sovereign crest, which turned out to be the place where Alphen was experimented on before when he got the crest. And through a machine there, we learned some things. Namely, that Volron was the only other test subject to survive. But he did so after 300 years after Alphen had. keep forgetting what her name is. Hold on. Naori. Naori, the thorns came from Naori and basically disrupted the ceremony, causing all the problems. And Naori gave Alphen the helmet to make sure he could survive afterwards, which apparently was a 10% chance of survival with the health pod. Meanwhile, she has to find some way to stop the thorns because it's going to destroy all of creation, even if it requires her ancestors to do so. Which is why we have Xion right now. Hello.
Hi.
I'm just in the middle of recap.
Okay.
Anyways. Chaos Spicy. But turn those around and it would be Spicy Chaos. That's an interesting term. Anyways, so I also found a file saying that the station would be opening when the ceremony was happening, which means most likely the ceremony was happening. Spicy Chaos. At this moment. But yeah, we learned a whole bunch of stuff there. We went further in, went into the chamber where the ceremony was held. Alphen and Xion used their crests to activate the pedestal, learned everything that they needed to know from Naori, and for some reason got a change of costumes that I did not like. So, you can see them here. Alphen's I just straight up hate, and Xion's I kind of like, but I think the armor on her dress, on the previous outfit, is much better for someone, you know, who's fighting. So I changed them back. They're not going to look like that in game. But we moved on, found the chamber where the sovereign was supposed to be. It looked a lot like the wedge on that had been siphoning energy from Dhana. And in the middle, we found a living Volron who was captured or strapped up in some kind of energy field with the Rena's Alma basically siphoning energy from him. As far as I can tell, it seems like he's being used as a battery, which is basically what the crown contest is, to get the most powerful Renan and use them as a battery to power Linagus. But before we could like cut him down or remove the Rena's Alma, the Red Woman showed up, and then so did two more of them. Oop! I apparently have not. I did some modifications on there and completely forgot to re-add this. Control, not Z, C. Ban. Let me add that to Nightbot before I forget. Oh, no, for some reason I disabled it. I don't know why I did that. It was in the thing, it's just... I forgot to re-enable it. Okay, there we go. Anyway, let's see. He was being used, the Red Woman showed up, and then two more of them did, so... And then they transformed into some weird armored, person-type creature, and we had to fight them. They were really slow, but powerful. And we managed...
Who was the Red Woman?
We don't know her name. She's just that woman wearing red armor. Or not red armor, but red clothes. Who stole the Rena's Alma before.
Okay.
With the dark inner... the dark energy orb that no one knew existed until that point. But anyway, once that happened,
I'm 400 away free from 5,000.
yee. Once that happened, we tried. Alphen tried to take the Renis Alma from the Volron battery, and it turns out Volron was partially awake the whole time. Ah, okay. You know when you start to drink something and then you suddenly realize you need a whole lot more? That was me just now.
Yeah, it looked like you drank quite a bit of that.
Mm-hmm. But he was awake, kinda, and he said, "Who said?" My favorite line was him just saying, "Who said you could take that?" And apparently these chains aren't fully holding him because he managed to pull his one arm free, but then the whole area starts to collapse. Oh, right. He tries to grab the Renis Alma with that arm, and another red woman shows up, grabs his arm, and stops him. And then, I don't remember exactly why, but there's an explosion that causes the area to start to collapse. The red woman... No, that's why. The red woman takes the Renis Alma and disappears, like she did before. And that causes the whole thing to collapse. And, during this time, Volron's shouting that they can run, but he'll be after them no matter what. So I guess we got another Zoggy in this game. Less crazy Zoggy. But while we're running away, pathways fell down, and Shion found herself on the other side of a gap from the rest of the group. And then Alphen turns around and holds out his hand, saying he's going to catch her. Which... she trusts him and takes the lead. And Alphen catches her. With, you know, that normal thing where it looks like he's not going to, but he extends his arm really fast and grabs her on the way down. And the thorns spread throughout, do all the damagey thing that it does throughout his body, but he doesn't let go. He pulls her up and saves her and holds her for a moment before letting her go. Which is honestly something that I really think she needed, because she really wants to be able to touch another person like normal people can. And, you know, the whole thing with before, when Alphen finally got his sense of touch back, and he jerked away when he first felt the pain of the thorns. So, you know, complete change in dynamic there. But we went out, left. There was no warp pad to getting out, and I couldn't warp out. So, obviously, a cutscene was going to happen before I could get to the spaceship. Our destination is now Rena at this point. But once we leave back into the residential area, something weird is going on. Apparently, all the lights are out. And... the people are starting to panic, because not only is things happening that are scaring them, but they're getting no word from the Sovereign about what's happening or directions about what to do. So this whole religious indoctrination type aspect that they've got going on has them super scared out of their mind. Through some chatting with an old friend who kind of hated him up until a while ago, Dohalim decides to step up and take charge of the matter. And while everyone's working to get the backup generators and stuff like that online, he sends a message to the people, asking them to calm down and work together in order to deal with this crisis while the Sovereign is away. Because he can't tell them that the Sovereign never truly existed in the capacity that they believe it did. And as he finishes his speech, the lights come on. So, Dohalim Dohalim for Sovereign, honestly. Real Sovereign, not the kind that's being used as a battery. But, there's a few questions at this point that has to be asked. A, did a Sovereign ever actually exist? B, if not, who is behind all this? And C, how do we stop the whole situation that's going on? So our next destination is Rena. We get on the spaceship, start flying towards Rena, and then we're surrounded in space, by the way, by like 7 or 8 red women who use some kind of dark energy blast to teleport us somewhere off our course and lock our computers. But that's not the most important thing that happened, because this place off course that we went is far enough to see Rena from a completely separate viewpoint. And one of the things I said long ago is actually pretty true, apparently. That Rena is pretty much destroyed, but it did not look like I expected it to. It was like a freaking dried apple core. The only part that was huge, that was large, was the point facing Dhana, so that it looked like it was still a whole planet. But that was just literally just a shell of the planet. Instead, on the other side that we look at it, it's literally just like it's just a long strip, a long thin strip with a little bit of a branch at the top. And while we're having trouble reaccessing our ship's controls because of whatever the red woman did, the wedge on Dhana begins to activate again, sending astral energy to Linagus, which sends the astral energy to Rena. And while we watch, for some reason, a gigantic stone-looking flower, blooms from the other side of Rena. Which my original guess was that the whole crown contest thing was basically to try and rebuild. Like, Rena was in a state of apocalypse and they needed the astral energy to survive. But at this point, I think they're trying to rebuild Rena. They're either trying to rebuild Rena, or Rena was never actually a planet to begin with. So, we're going to find out what that is eventually. But before we do that, there's a little bit more that happened. Apparently, we were... our controls were grabbed and we were brought to another space station in the area. And that's where we start off here, because we are on that space station. I never set up my phone. Yeah. Yeah, things went really crazy last session. Where is my phone? So, hopefully we'll have some questions answered today. I feel like this space station is going to answer a lot, but also provide some more questions. This is why I love the Tales series. Once you think you got a handle on the plot, something big happens that takes the plot in a completely different direction. Usually it works out for the better. Alright, anyway. Game time. Time to start. It's after 6, right? Yeah, it's 6:12. Wow, that was a long... that was a long, previously on segment.
Recap.
Yeah, recap. Also, I think we figured out what light bulbs I need, so we should have some soon.
Okay.
Oh, right. Also, who shall I take as my on-screen character today? Let's go for Kisara for a little bit. There we go. I have livestock that has reached maturity.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
What?
No!
What the...
Ooh, 300 away.
Oh,
Yay.
right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine.
Jesus.
I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've
no.
been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So
And now
numb
she has
to your
us.
reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that.
And we trust
Maybe it'll be
Alphen.
soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
We're all working towards that goal. Lightening the mood.
Boo!
Ah, what the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't
Oop.
the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come
Shut
on.
up, phone.
How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Woo! He says blocked by
Sorry.
the thing.
Staying
Holy
alone
shaggy
is
voice.
important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Alright, let's go. And cutscene.
I still
Yeah.
can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I hope that
I'm not
gameplay
get-
was very
I've only
satisfying
ever
because
seen
you only
Rena
got
from
5
the surface
seconds
of
of it.
Dhana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Yeah, it kind of does,
Rena
actually.
and Dhana.
I'd still
We
say
were
it looks
taught
more
that
like an
both
apple,
worlds
though.
were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Which is why
Don't
no one
hum.
from Linagus is allowed on Rena.
Okay, who's the
And
wise guy that
skip-
summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
That beam of light joining Dhana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenigus?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try
Rena
to
will
stay
probably
calm.
die if
With
they
so
don't
many
do
factors
it.
we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
True. Alright. What's going on here? Crystals. Plants. Doesn't look like there's anything else in here that I need to worry about. I'm not certain if those are doors that are locked or just a fancy decorative wall. Lower level, central level, upper level. Where are we? Not lower level? Nope. I guess central level it is. Can I go to the upper level? That has the star, so take off departure, or that's where we were. Nope, not accessible. I can't go anywhere except here. Alright, anything interesting around here? Couches. Apparently people live here. More plants in jars. Is that a healing pod?
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Actually,
What's
it does.
that?
It's a purple version of the Red Woman in their armored form.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
Oop, shiny screen.
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35, huh?
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
Are you
What
a
is
robot?
this place? No, wait, before that. Just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the
Great One?
Red Women? Pulling their strings?
Uh-oh, this doesn't look good.
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have
Oh,
not
that
been
was a
harmed
scan.
in any
Okay.
way.
I thought astral energy was being pulled out.
Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
Agreed. It doesn't seem to be attacking. Or
I
anything
shall
like
now
that.
answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dhana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dhana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
Sounds about right
The
to me.
true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dhana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dhana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dhana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
This is going to be a long cutscene, isn't it?
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying.
It
If
has been
Dhana
so
has a
far.
will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dhana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dhana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dhana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dhana.
Because it's eaten all the
Is that
astral
why the
energy
crown
of
contest is
Rena.
necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dhana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dhana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dhana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dhana.
This is all happening because of me.
No, I think you saved them.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrect 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
Ooh. I mean, I figured that would be our
sorry,
goal,
did you
but
just
still.
ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegus has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dhana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
Good question.
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
200.
You mean
200?
you're dying?
200 away from 5,000.
Hmm.
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your
I
answer,
have to wait until you're
return
doing
to me.
actual battle before
If
I
you
do
agree
it.
to help, I
These
shall fix your
cutscenes are-
ship.
Long.
Doesn't work.
Others?
Well, it doesn't work
Just
because
how many of you
you're
are
not
there?
challenged. You just have to let it go.
I
and
know.
read.
I am the
Do
only
its own thing.
Helganquil who inhabits Dig Phasal.
Oop, are you...
Hey!
Hey, I have a few more questions.
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
I wanted to know why it looked like that. Was it originally like that, or did it become like that over time? It seems to manage Hevrek 35's condition. Lots of vital sign stats are displayed. Okay. Anything behind here that I can take? No. Alright. Oop. Cutscene again.
You can't seriously
Or
be buying
skid again.
anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim?
Even the
Were you
game
able to
called
follow
itself
it at
out
all?
on that.
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dhana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dhana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dhana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrek 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
Yeah. So, my thoughts, the Helganquil, are... Like, I mentioned robot before, but technically I'm thinking like more of a magical version of a robot. Like, I guess a golem is the best way to describe it. Lower level. What is in the lower level? Well, that's a star, so let's see what's in the upper level first. Red Women Truth. I can't do anything? No, I can. Okay. Ooh. Oh, there's a... Wow, we are super far away. Holy crap. That's Dhana on the right, Lenegus in the middle that is barely visible. And Rena on the left with the flower blooming out the back of it. Why did you do that, Kisara? I mean, I know she fishes, but... Anyways, yeah. I didn't realize we were this far away from it.
She trying to pull it toward her?
I think that was an idle animation. Basically a fishing idle animation. But it was just a weird one to me.
Hmm.
In the situation that we had, it's like... it's kind of like she was fishing for the planets. Okay, that's cool. Gave a sense of scale of just how freaking far we are away. We're further away, like, at least twice as far away as the moon is from the Earth. Alright, what cutscenes have we in store now?
Who are they?
It's people. Renans?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
You guess so?
The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have.
Ah, cool.
Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
Subjects?
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrect 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dhana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
I wasn't thinking Dhana and Rena until you said it, but now maybe. Okay. No treasure chest. Alright.
Have you guys lived up here in Dig Faisal with Hevrect 35 for a long time?
Those are some weird
Yes.
words.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrect 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition,
Interesting.
they also used hypnosis devices and information control
Mic shift?
Maybe
to
they're,
get us to do what they
maybe
wanted
they're
without being
experimenting on
detected.
people there on the ship.
It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict.
Like they
I
did
have to imagine that's
on
how
Lenegis.
Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil,
This is
so
an
they had to
exposition
employ
bump.
other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrect 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time,
And
there's
the mic
nothing
changed
to be
again?
gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead.
You can
Things
tell
are
part
going
of this
just fine
was
with the
done during
Overseer. Not that
during
it'll be
COVID.
around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Excuse me. The heck? Why do I suddenly have a big cough? The Overseer and I have a lot of lively debates on a whole host of topics. Politics, philosophy, science. I always enjoy them. Our perspectives as members of different species are so unique that it makes for an intellectually stimulating conversation. I have to imagine the Overseer enjoys them as well. They make for an excellent way to stave off the monotony in Dake Faisal. I forgot how you're supposed to pronounce that.
Do
More
you know
exposition.
anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dhana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dhana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied.
That was me.
The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day.
Oh, he slaughtered the Helganquil too.
For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dhana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dhana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevric 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
Good to know
He
that
talks
you
like
actually
the
care.
potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
Research is their only means for existence. So far, things in Dhana have proceeded according to plan. I feel honored to witness the final stages of an event generating generations in the making. I'm keen to see how it'll all turn out. And you, give me the information.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Gimme.
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
Well,
You mean the overseer
Don't Helene, your hat's in the way.
I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Is this
Well,
going to reveal
in a
I was right?
nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
I was right. Kinda. I said they were originally one
But if that's
species,
true,
but
then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there.
From the
That's why
mages.
we, as
Just
their
what I thought.
descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dhana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines
smiling
that are
while saying
practically
this.
invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough. You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when
And the wings
viewed
are
in a
blocking.
certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
I feel accomplished
Does he
having called
really
that.
expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a
And
moment
we
to
have a
gather
skit
ourselves.
again.
I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dhana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Wait, so
Sounds
we're
good.
splitting up again?
Let's go find them.
Party
Everyone's
disbanded,
just
yep.
gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
It appears to maintain constant monitoring to ensure nothing approaches Dake Faisal. The craftsmanship that the Helganquil display always astounds me, whether it's the Zoogles, us Renans, or anything else for that matter. I have to imagine it will take our kind many generations before we'll arrive at their level, of sophistication and expertise. So that's the sleepy time place, I guess. What, we just sleep on the floor? So yeah, apparently my thoughts in the last session were correct. There's no such thing as a Renan. They were all Danans originally. And for some reason... well, a reason that was explained in here. They evolved from the mages and became Renans. As I said before, my main reason for thinking this is the fact that none of the Renans on the Linegus ever set foot on Rena, and also the fact that there were so few mages. Something. I still haven't had the answer to the question whether that Rena was always looked like this, or no. They actually said that that's why it's responsible for its current state. Okay. Anyways, we got another skit to watch. So much talking.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really?
Well, we have a goal.
Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Absolutely.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
I mean, we do have a goal. I don't know if we've lost our foothold, really. The spirit channeling plan will soon finally conclude as the Overseer reaches the end of its lifespan. After going into hibernation countless times to date, it's been a long time coming, to say the least. What are we going to do once the project is over and there's nothing left for us to research? We'll always keep observing as long as there are things out there worth watching. Once our time is up, whenever it is, we shall return to nothing. It's a fitting fate for this station and its inhabitants after being cast out into the cosmos. Sad. Heal. Why are you hurt? You found me collapsed again and helped me back up. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks to you, I can continue to go about my research. Happy bottle, which I can sell, because I don't use those. Did the Renans on Linegus lose control of their Zeugles? I suppose it's plausible, what with all the astral energy flowing through the place. In which case, the arts that were keeping them in line must have been disrupted. I doubt it was otherwise the work of the Great Spirit. I agree. It's hard to believe that such a massive consciousness would deliberately conceive and then carry out such a localized phenomenon. What this? These are Dake Phasal construction plans showing a central elevator shaft and multiple circular areas. Looks like there's nothing else of interest in here, so I guess I'll have to talk to people.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
Who?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it.
I had a thought.
As for the Renans,
and I'll go through it once this is over.
I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Yeah,
well,
power will
first
come
we can
back
try
again.
to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning. But I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Yeah. And in order to do that, we need to get through a whole bunch of cutscenes, apparently. Now that I think about how we can all embrace each other's pain, as you put it. Now to think about. Okay. So, my thought. The reason they needed a Danan for the Sovereign is probably because they needed the original people, the non-converted people, in order to act as a key to to Dana's astral energy. Because the Renans technically aren't the same as Danans anymore. They're converted to, Renan's side of it.
You both seem
I'm
awfully
hearing
calm.
myself in the background.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dhana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else.
Yep.
So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Maybe.
Well, that great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Mm-hmm. I hope there comes a day when mages are just like anybody else in Dana. Excuse me. I wonder, are Danans still not given surnames of their own? As crude of a tactic as it is, it's nonetheless an effective subjugation tool. But I suppose we aren't all that different. Though grandiose sounding, ours are simply a means to identify an individual's formative background. Barring the unforeseen developments that took place on Linegus, everything has gone quite smoothly. Even if we were to notice such aberrations for ourselves, we would likely ignore them, as it's not our policy as observers to interfere. What's this? It measures astral energy fluctuations in Dana and Rena. It seems that when Linegus was activated, no consideration was made for the safety of those in the residential quarter. Not that it matters. Once the plan is complete, Linegus will serve no purpose. It's only logical that there would be more pressing concerns instead. Rude. The Overseer must be so pleased to be able to witness the transformation of Dana before it passes on. The Overseer will, in all likelihood, remain with us for the time being, as its vital signs continue to show us stable. Despite their appearance, their biology is surprisingly close to us. Isn't that just utterly fascinating? Okay. 2 more to go, and then hopefully we can do something.
I still can't believe it, man.
Some
You're
actual
not the
gameplay.
only one still trying to make sense of all this.
Promises,
Believe me.
promises.
I said hopefully.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alfred. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live, and I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's
like we
just
had a
all
raid.
too much for me to handle right
good.
now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from
Let me
me.
get through this
but
cutscene and I'll
maybe
give you a
the
proper
key is
welcome.
not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons. But I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do, or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open
Yeah,
up
right.
and listen.
In other words,
Hey, Maverick.
if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important,
God, these
what
are
I
too
really
long.
care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me. To fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
That's what you're best at. That and breaking armor. Anyway, Geeks, Freaks, and Video Games, thank you for the raid. Party of 5, welcome to the stream. I tend to play, story-based games, story-focused games, and stuff like that. Currently playing Tales of Arise. Maverick, I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're doing well as well. We're pretty far into Tales of Arise, so like there might be spoilers just so everyone knows. I'll leave the big boy tricky stuff to you, and do what I can on my end to help. I'm tired after that stream. Yeah, I know how that is. I tend to have to like rest after streams. Oh, I also play D&D on Fridays with my friends. I've got 2 emotes in my channel. If y'all are interested, who are characters from the D&D channel. Or a D&D game. There's Kale and there's thank you, Azza. There's Kale and Violet, played by Nug Davis and Vendetta, respectively. I don't know why I advertised that, but you know, there it is anyway.
Because you got them.
I got him. I have that.
You're affiliated. You're affiliated, and you got.
You mean hearing the origins
thingies.
of the Renans?
I got some emotes.
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Yeah, Kong Vector's
Let's
pretty
not
good
delude
with
ourselves.
emotes.
If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dhana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dhana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
Well, you've got a base of operations
I
in
guess your only
Menancia
real
now.
choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dhana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Dhanans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way.
All right,
Isn't
see you
that
later,
what
Maverick
you hope to
Senior.
achieve on
I hope you have a
Lenegis
good day,
after
and
this
the
is all
errands are
over?
easy.
Indeed.
Bye, Maverick
I have
Jr.
fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dhana peaceably.
That might help,
As
actually,
the one
yeah.
and only blazing sword, I suspect the Dhanans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dhanan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a tough
Is it too
call.
much?
No, relax.
But I think we can do it.
You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
Yes, friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
Hell
You
yeah,
don't
I
even
will.
need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's
And
learning
another
from their
cutscene.
past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
Guess what?
What?
2 points away.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel
You'll
about
get
the
that in
origin
no
of the
time.
Renans?
Oh, I just got it.
To be honest,
Told you, no
I'm
time.
not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense.
I think I'll wait
but
till
I've never
you're
really
actually
felt
doing
like
battle
one of
next
them.
time.
Yeah.
Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when.
Can we stop
but how?
zooming in on her boobs,
I
please?
thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dhana.
Well, I'm heading out.
How could I have?
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
So you're not
It's been
gonna
going on for 300
wait until
years.
time?
All this tragedy
I'll do it
and
later next
destruction.
time.
Okay.
Thursday, I guess.
When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even
There's
longer
too
than
many
that.
cutscenes.
Yeah, I know.
It was
I agree.
Mary's hope that somehow
talk to you later.
someone
Alright,
in
see you,
the
bye.
future would be able to stop it before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we
This
would
game
just
was
stop
great
the
until
world
it
from
just
getting
started being
destroyed.
cutscene after cutscene after cutscene and
She
after
considered
cutscene.
me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Forgive
that
everything,
what you're saying?
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of half
I
paying
don't just
attention
mean
because I'm
forgiving things
like,
that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening.
there's way too many
If we
cutscenes
have
at
any
this
hope
point.
of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl.
Savior
We're
Girl.
here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Oh. I guess we're done. Probably gonna have another couple cutscenes, but maybe we can finally go to Rena or
ready to
whatever.
do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, But at the end of the day, Dhana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
When are they gonna stop talking and get back to
Like
the game?
Ross
That's
said,
what's on my mind.
If we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, and so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
We still need to figure out where the, what the
You're saying
thorns
there's a
really
chance?
are.
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dhana's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit?
Really?
It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great Spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
So if that's true, what we need to do is give it back those thorns, and maybe she'll be able to live
The question is, how do we confront
through
it?
getting rid of them.
Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns' connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's
Oh,
go
cool.
see
I gotta
what
go
that
talk
is.
to Hevric. Members who left have returned to your party.
Our minds are made up.
And
let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
We have more
So
skits
if
to
the
watch.
Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
Wow.
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The
I need
people
to
there will
shave.
be fine. I'm sure of it.
Right.
Are we done with the cutscenes for now? Okay, cool. Let's go to this next cutscene. You know, I love JRPGs and their story aspect, but I'm not a big fan when they just decide they want to dump massive amounts of cutscenes and all you do is just run around in them and not actually play the game.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated.
We need to go to the flower.
If you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Rena's Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Rena's Alma to destroy it.
So are you gonna
Hold
give
on.
us the Rena Alma?
That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
We'll find another option.
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which
that
would make
explains
Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That
It got
part
greedy.
inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Rena's Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Rena's Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Rena's Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dhana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dhana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Alphen's got away with
What you
words.
say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegus.
We just have to get it back.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dhana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man,
So we've
I
got
wish
to
that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
beat it
Everett
and then
35
get the
and
hell
others
out.
have gotten used to hypothesizing
Beat it
from
and beat
afar,
it.
is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same.
Possibly
Repair
even
work
better.
on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
How long? The truth. I got an achievement.
Man, is it too much to ask for Everett 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall
And-
Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Everett 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
I'm kind of zoning out because of how much they're doing with the cutscenes. Nothing of interest around here. Let's get to the ship. Hopefully they'll allow us to get to the ship now. And not make us wait a little bit longer. What the heck? It'll take some time to completely repair your starship. I suggest that you all get some rest in the interim. Rest. More cutscenes. Hooray!
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of
That is a good
retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
Good way to live.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start.
All we need is a start.
When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Didn't we already discuss this?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost.
I just want to play the game. Like, holy crap.
Do you still plan to return to Lenegus when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegus proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Doe.
Did
Dodo.
you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before.
Just make out already.
But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle.
This is going to be a while, isn't it?
So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dhana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me
At least
to know
until
for
it turns
sure
out
one
to
way or
actually
the
be a
other,
bad
right?
thing.
But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
Rena.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Everett 35 might know the answer.
Oh god, we're not gonna go talk to him again, are we?
But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my
Good.
own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
That seems kind of endgamey, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it. With how much they're talking to each other.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind.
Wow.
Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Okay, that was actually cute.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
And a conversation between these two. Because who wants to play games?
Can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dhana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Now we're fighting an entire planet.
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Rena's Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Rena's Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got.
Just as a contingency, I guess.
But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end.
Yep.
I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
I didn't realize I needed to be forgiven.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
Ah, I like that smile.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before.
Is it love?
But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
They're totally gonna get together.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dhana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Oh god, finally.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break.
Hevreki.
It has
says
been
Hevreki.
stuck in this
I like
tiny
that.
facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
That's
Will
quite
all
a big
the Helganquil go back
planet
to
to
normal
walk.
once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
Existence is beyond numbers.
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable.
Who gives a crap?
Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand.
You have to experience
All
life.
right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Okay. Alright, finally, we get to go. Hopefully there's not too many cutscenes between here and actual gameplay now. Cutscene.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
Like, where are we going exactly? He said the planet's surface. So would that be the part that looks like it's still full? Ah, yes. Okay, that makes sense. And this planet looks bad. Like, I mean, it looked bad from from a distance, but it looks bad here too.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy.
It's all been
This world
absorbed.
is...
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is... that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
It's that metallic liquid left after
This is
people
what the Great Spirit does.
die.
After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dhana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dhana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
Man.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dhana, looking for another host.
Not another host.
You're
Another
saying if we
food
don't
source.
stop it, this is what Dhana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Destroyed remnants, Rena. I wonder how much longer the game is going to go.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dhana suffer the same fate. Ever.
Oh, put together some order. Sorry, I was a little busy, with this stuff. Bad timing? Okay, I'm gonna put in this order and be right back to the game. This actually seems like pretty good timing. Popeyes again, huh? Timing! Spicy. Alright, so what do I want this time? I tried the chicken sandwich, it was good. Mixed chicken? Let's go with chicken tenders. Might as well. With honey mustard. Alright. I'm good to go. Who tagged me? Special owls seem to have appeared throughout Dhana. Which means I could go back to Dhana.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think
Does
of
it really
it,
even
I don't
count as
believe I've
matter?
heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
No, thank you.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
He said no
because I
thanks.
said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Okay, that was kind of funny.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Rena's Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Rena's Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever.
This feels like it should have been an actual cutscene,
but it's
not
our
a
only
skit.
shot. Time to buckle up.
And another skit.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
Hopefully.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah,
That's
you're
your
right,
dream
Rena.
now.
Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Really? Another one?
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
Sorry, about to do a
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen,
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
a man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
That's a little bit of both.
Just a friendly suggestion.
Alright, so I could go back to Dhana now, I think, given what it said about the owls. Yeah. Alright. And given that there's more owls, I will probably do that before the end game. I still have monsters to defeat on Dhana too. But for now, I want to continue. I want to see what happens next. Oh boy, we're doing teleporter things. Nope, can't go under there. Inactive, inactive. Nothing of interest, so let's move on. Hope this doesn't get
Looks
too
like we've
confusing.
warped into that pit of astral energy.
Really? Keeping up with the Helgenquill?
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
Wow.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen.
Wait, when do I get to
There are
cook
regular
again?
Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helgenquill?
Can't
I
say
had
I'd ever
thought-
noticed it till now.
That might be a thing?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helgenquill?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
To be fair, you deserve that. Thinning the herd. Can we
You
not
know,
have
guys,
a billion
when you think
skits,
about it,
please?
We've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dhana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dhana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
So what if we alter them
First,
back? Would that be a
people made
problem?
Zoogles,
Is that even
and
possible?
we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had
Yeah.
distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
Alright, so what do we have around here? Anything? Your armor sounds weird, Kisara. Cutscene. Oh, there we go. Finally get to fight.
Helganquill.
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Yep. Level 53, holy crap.
I knew there was something off here. They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Ow.
Their arts were interrupted.
I never miss. Go. Lightning. Downfall. Leave the enemy's arc to me.
No place here.
I don't think I got that in time. Ooh.
Another incantation ruined. I must remember my limits.
I died before I could pull it off. Crap. I don't think we're level 50 something. It's going to be a tough fight, and I might need to go back and grind a bit.
Behold, the Earth pulse. Tectonic vision.
Water. Hear my
Get
call.
behind me! Far enough! Going in!
Can't get out of this.
I'm ready!
Blow them away.
Did we beat that one, or did it? Yeah, we killed it. Cool. They're not as strong as the boss fight. They're still strong, but they're not as strong. Let me just, you know, hide a little bit with the low health and stuff.
Ready.
What?
Confiscate.
I owe you one. It's in your hands now.
You pay for that! Taking too many hits!
Ignite!
Guardian field!
I'm not done.
I'm ready to go!
No rest for the witches.
Win! You're mine! Guardian field! I'm ready to go! I'm ready!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's a healing
Shockwave Blast! Infernal Torrent!
Guardian field!
Win! A thrilling performance. Devastation! I'll burn it all!
I failed because I killed it. Oh well.
Flaming pillar!
No, I got it. Never mind. My bad.
My turn!
Here, let me help.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I never miss. This one's mine. Radiant under here.
Ow.
Severing Wings! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique! Appreciate the help!
Take this!
Sword
Rain Alpha!
Feistier than you look. Your art.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Dramatic.
Flame inside me! Good! To be let free! Burn it down!
Down, boy.
Here I come!
Going in!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Rena!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Yee. We did it. What level are we anyways? I need to check that. And cutscene.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dhana slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
Oop, SP accumulated.
We lose.
Sorry, I... Oh, it feels good to be back in the game. We're level 45-ish.
Part now. This whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
And another skit. Hooray! Skits!
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath
the
the
good
hollowed
skits.
ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquill, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
Ken?
We haven't seen anyone here except
Again?
Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances.
Probably.
Like all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Nice. Really? Come on.
Just look at the size of that thing.
I know they're not required,
The
but
Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries, at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And
sure?
that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot.
I mean, we did teleport just a minute
There
ago.
must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
I should have probably gotten
Borrow
this
one of
before I
their
teleported.
contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
As Nug
You
said
know what
earlier,
he's like, Lo.
don't me!
Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Alpha Livid Wolf.
I have a bad feeling about this.
In a bind?
First aid! Switch to offense! Sighted!
Win!
Help it!
Blind you with a shot!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Radiant, here!
Armor won't save you!
This one's mine!
Yeah.
Let me
You're
help!
finished!
First aid!
You're mine! Execution! Severing wind!
Going
Take
in.
this! You're on!
Hurricane!
From calamity!
Wow.
You're mine! Vacuum blade!
Hurricane!
The flame is healing! Sure! The radiant switch! Full of regeneration! I'm not done! Mirage!
Will this help? Crescent move!
Destruction!
Healing
Come one, come all! Burn!
Come one, come all, to your destruction.
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Go! Start by holding the front line!
No sooner said than done.
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike! Water! Hear my
Elusive
call!
deity! I'm not done! It's over!
Burning
Come on, try harder!
Hear my call!
My turn!
Hurricane strike!
I'm not done!
Spread!
Stop bouncing around.
Hear me! Flame of
Sword
fury!
Rain Alpha!
Burning strike!
Severing wind! I'm ready! Here I
Rena!
come!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
On your knees! Not a chance!
Here it goes!
I'm not done!
Hurricane
You're on! It's time! You escape! Vacuum blade!
Annihilation!
Bloody
Mega ray!
Severing wind! Burn!
Hurricane flood! Annihilation!
You're on!
Mega ray!
There! Petra!
Lightning!
How about this? I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Yeah, I did it.
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Yep, we're leveling up. Up, another skit.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
Pretty much,
I'd say
probably.
it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
That's why they
The
had to
Renans
do the
have
whole
committed
religious
grave injustices against the
indoctrination.
Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
No, the
What'd he
evil
say?
is in the subjugation.
He said, without a doubt.
Or in the way they were taught, basically.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
There's an apparatus? Where? Ah. Come on. Upper level 2 floor. Uh-oh.
Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action.
I don't have Shion at the moment, so I have to do my best until she charges.
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Shion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Radiant blood here. Going in.
Severing wind. Vacuum blade.
Oh, she's back at it.
Bring you down.
I don't know how she does it, like gets 2 of them in a row.
Ridwell. Frozen. Hammer.
My turn. Take this. Mirage.
Oh, they just keep coming. Holy crap.
This one's all mine. Take this. Eat dirt.
Here, let me help.
I'm not done.
First aid.
Thanks.
Perfect captivity. Do it. Astral energy.
Say no more.
Reinforcements.
Here I come. I'm not done.
Still coming with reinforcements? Holy crap.
Take this. You're mine.
Going in.
You're mine.
Hurricane blood.
The flame inside here to be let free. There.
I'm gone.
Wind you apart. Bloody I'm not burning hell.
On your look
Here I come. I'm ready.
All yours, Kisara.
Yeet.
We did it.
Magnificently done.
No escape.
Glacial
Severing
spear.
wind.
Here
I'm
we
ready.
go.
Here.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Reinforcements incoming. Not a problem.
Devastation.
This one's mine.
I'm not done.
I wonder if they're going to send any others. Or if this is just how it's going to be.
Make it rain. Go for it. Prepare to crumble.
Are they calling reinforcements?
Still calling reinforcements? Holy crap.
This one's mine. This one's mine.
Oh, that was a growl.
Take it.
I'm not done.
That doesn't look good. I didn't get to see it because I was, camera spinning on me, but
Where are you going?
Hold nothing back. Wind.
Flaming meteor.
Here. Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
I'll heal you.
All yours, Kisara.
take it out.
Here's a healing
More
arc.
Stukos?
Keep calm and take them down.
Here I go.
Far enough.
No further. Impressive, Dohalim. More?
Radiant pierce.
Sword Rain Alpha.
Hurricane blood. On guard.
Wow.
By the hurricane blood.
You picked the wrong fight.
Go in.
Sword Rain Alpha.
Hurricane blood.
Through armor.
Do it.
Dohalim, in an instant.
We're fighting a lot of enemies, and I love it. As long as my CP can hold up.
Sword Rain Alpha.
Here. Hurricane blood. Shield.
I'm not done.
This one's mine.
Wind. Take this.
Hurricane blood. Go in.
Blast on the wind. There.
Hurricane blood.
Vacuum blade.
Bloody blade.
I'm not done.
One more.
I'm not done.
Rending you
Sword Rain Alpha. Take this. We did it. My turn.
Yeah.
I can handle it.
Come back here, you flying bastard.
Eat
This one's mine.
Bloody howling! Strike!
Going in. Inferno! Out of ammo.
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
This one's mine.
Not more!
That'll bring you down.
You're mine! I'm not done!
Bloody
howling!
Going in.
Stalagmite!
Dang it, I lost the break.
This one's mine.
I'm not done!
Elucidate.
Soaring blood! Eagle ray! Devastation! I'm ready! More?
Strength as beastly as she who wields it.
Is beastly supposed to be a compliment?
Yes. You outbeat the beast.
If it's in, I thought you more defensively minded.
Defense via threat elimination.
So the best defense is a good offense.
Okay, when does this end?
Where are you going?
Not that I actually care if it ends. This is awesome. But still, kind of surprising that this is so long.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it! More? Here I come! Devastation!
It's like they said, okay, you wanted fighting? Here, have some fighting. And then more.
The flame is yours to be let free!
Make it rain! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! On more?
Yeah, more.
Where are you going?
Take it ready! In an instant! Impact block! Not a chance!
Am I supposed to do something, or is it just beat the crap out of everything that comes in?
It's over! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Shield ready! Strike!
Go down. Down, boy.
Light burst forth!
Radiant, finish it!
Not a chance!
Radiant, primed and ready!
Mirage! Check this! Severing wind!
Is this the last one? I think it's the last one.
Do it! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
Yee. That was fun.
Good to know my training's paying off.
And what, pray tell, does this training of yours entail?
Why? Interested in...
Oops. Training probably entailed beating the crap out of a
Such
ton
a
of
harsh environment as this.
a ton of Zoogles. Sure worked for me. Yeah. Resistance plus 40, nice.
There are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them.
Most likely Zoogles.
You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
We'd probably die,
sound
though.
Alarmingly serious when you say that.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Do you?
Flame of fury! These things really get on my nerves. Get behind me!
We got flyers!
I've got it!
Yep, we got flyers. Shion, do something.
All yours! I'm not done! This one's all mine! Shockwave strike! Destruction!
I can't kill you forever!
Get back down.
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Mirage! I'm not done! Vacuum blade!
I'm ready! Here I go!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Mirage! No escape!
Execution!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Negative gate! Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
That wasn't a concerted effort to get all of that to work.
Look sharp! Here I come! I'm ready!
Oops.
Astral energy!
I hit Alphen when I didn't mean to. Worked for me, though. I like seeing Rinweld and Aspen.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Yee.
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Take this! Take this! Vacuum blade! Inferno! Prepare to win!
These ones can run rings around us.
You're finished!
It's okay. I took care of most of them with Dohalim.
Here, let me help.
You're mine!
I've used too much.
Shield from calamity! Eat dirt!
Water,
Take this!
here I go.
Now I can let loose!
On guard.
Severing wind!
Make it rain.
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! On your knees! Now! You're mine! I'll take you all on! Mirage!
Easy and snaring to me.
Yeah, and bubbling to me. In a bind.
I got it. The last one.
Sword Rain Alpha!
You're down now, bruh.
Severing wind! Take this! Make it rain! Here I come!
Ah, no!
Ticked me off.
It didn't give me long enough to do it. That's bad.
This one's mine.
Why does it keep disappearing too early?
This one's mine.
Can you take it?
Not much longer to go.
Come on! One final push!
Let's do this together, Alfred.
Yours to be let free!
This one's
Is that a healing arm?
Do it. Julie.
All yours, Kisara.
We did it.
Nice. We done.
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Alright, so the question is... hold on. That's an entire pathway. Alright, let's see what's in here. Hopefully I don't need to, Oh no, I haven't seen a merchant recently. Oh my god, that's a problem. That's a big Google. Alright, dogs, come here.
This one will be difficult to predict.
You picked the wrong fight!
Go down, boy.
I'm not done!
Hey, Dohalim, help me out.
A spot of feast.
Dog over here is being a brat.
Sword Rain Alpha! Damn it! Radiant light!
That'll bring you down.
You're mine!
Tiger blade.
Damn it! Do back!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Shield from calamity! Destruction! Severing wind! Mirage! I'll burn it all!
Let's burn it all.
Flaming pillar! Fire!
I'll heal you all.
You're mine!
Please do. I like being healed.
Strike!
I probably should have waited on that.
Okay, here I go! Take this!
Outstanding form.
Hold on one second. Dohalim, take care of that.
Sit this one out.
Out of
And miss all the fun. No way.
Take this! There!
Thank you.
Burn! You're mine! Sword Rain!
I'll take you all on.
Nice.
Flare the Malika.
benediction.
You're mine!
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding
I
the
could use a little bit of help.
No sooner than done. How do you like being pounded into shape? Not
Hold nothing back! Stay away from my friends! Okay.
Thank you, Dohalim.
Beyond. Imbue this
I'm not
vanquished
done!
soul with life. Resuscitation.
Wind!
I'm all stuffed up.
Mirage! No escape!
I'll heal you all. Going in.
Coming through!
Well, I guess I'm taking this one out.
Now!
Hopefully.
Scarlet Inferno!
Here.
Or not.
Can handle this.
No, not you.
We're interrupted. I'll cover you.
I'm waiting for Dohalim before I take deal with you. What the heck?
Going in.
Now you see what I can do.
From beyond, imbue this
Where are
vanquished
you
soul
going?
with
Guardian
power.
Field. All right.
Resuscitation.
Let me out. I'll heal you all.
I owe you one.
Yeah.
In here. Get started.
Okay, hold on. I can't tell what I'm looking at.
No further.
Stop being a brat.
I'll heal you all. Time to... I can handle it.
Let me free you of your power.
All right.
Hey, some healing might be nice.
I won't give up.
You'll pay for that.
On guard. I'll find you with Inferno crossing.
Rending you apart.
This battle's a bit of a problem.
Going in.
Another incantation ruined.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to do it myself.
What was I thinking? Hurricane Flight! Gemini Aqua!
Thank you.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malachite!
Not what I was expecting, but I did mean to use her.
Imbue this vanquished soul with light. I'm not done. Any more of this and I'll burn out.
Make it rain!
Kisara, Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Finally. Got rid of that one.
Mirage! Wind! Strike! It's over! Mirage! Ha! No escape! Burn!
No. Bad dog. Go down.
Vacuum blade!
Armor won't save you! Alright,
I'm not done! It's over! Sword Rain Alpha!
Crescent move!
Why are both healers dead?
I owe you one.
Out of the woods.
Ow. This is not a good time for that. I'm gonna go ahead and use a heavy treat here because it's being a problem.
This should do it! Vacuum blade! Sword Rain Alpha! Air pressure! Shockwave flash!
I'm ready to go!
Destruction! Coming through!
I think I got it. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't.
Scarlet Inferno!
Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. I don't know. Use the item.
In a bind! Shield and Luna corruption!
Win! Here I
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Let them lace
go! Take it!
I've almost got it though.
They smite
Far
with
enough.
broken blade!
Where are you going?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Look sharp!
Execution!
Armor won't save you! Here's a
Severing
healing
Wind!
arc!
Take this!
Hurricane Flight! Going in!
I don't know what was happening right there. That was a lot of stuff and not very good at visual.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malachite! Do it!
Strike!
In an instant! Impact Cross!
Yeah, I did
I
it.
feel sprightlier than before.
Canine
Hey.
vest. That would be for... Yeah.
New equipment!
Alright, that looks like everything that was in here. Oh god.
If only I were a cat.
I mean, Xion has the cat ears. Of course they'd have to put the strong ones in, wouldn't they? Level 50
This one's
rending
tough,
mantis.
but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Try harder! Not a chance! Elusive
This one's mine. Here's a healing arc. As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't enough.
Shit.
No further! Strike!
Radiant pierce.
Yeah, I'll need Kisar for this.
Down on the ground! Sword Rain Alpha!
Soaring blast. First aid. On guard.
Strike!
Tornado drive.
Devastation!
Another move.
Escape!
Armor won't save you.
Take this!
By the power of
Try
Quartz.
harder!
Haha, you missed.
Vacuum blade!
Time to shine.
Heal! Severing wind! Take this!
Kill. You're all primed and ready.
Strike!
That'll bring you down.
You'll find no mercy.
It's over!
Benediction light.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Ah,
Heal!
didn't miss on that one.
Here's the evil.
Or that one.
Freeze laser.
That's a bit of an issue.
Behold, the Earth pulse. Tectonic vision.
Here, let me help. First aid.
Thank you.
Try harder.
Yeah.
In a bind.
Freeze Lancer.
Try
I'll
harder.
stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
There we go. I don't think I used. Yeah, you did it at the right time. I can't tell. Oh well.
I'll smash you.
Let's keep up the pressure.
I'm in your debt.
There. Begin.
Sword
Rain out.
Wind.
Coming through. Ha!
Just said Mystic Art.
Scarlet Inferno.
I thought I had done all 5, but nope, didn't do 5.
Don't mind if I do.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
I'll bring you
You're mine. Here goes back. This one's all mine.
Go down, boy.
Not today. Take
Will
this.
this help?
There.
Inferno, let the marksman handle
Look
that.
resonate with the earth.
Ready and strike. I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher! Outstanding form! That'll bring you down.
I'm not done.
Time to strike.
I've gotten it almost there.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
Here I come. I'm not done. Now I can lose. Try harder. Bloody
hard up.
Time to let it rip. Take this.
Radiant
Sword Rain Alpha.
I'm out of ammo. Time to shine.
This one's all mine.
I can't heal you forever.
Wind. Air pressure. I'll burn it all.
Here we go. I did it.
Flaming pillar. Fire.
Wasn't enough to defeat it, but
You picked the wrong fight. I'm ready.
there we go.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Perhaps we ought to recuperate for a while.
I agree. Fighting in this state would be reckless.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or
Oh, I should have let that continue.
perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrek 35 about it sometime.
Alright. Oop, over here. Orange gel. Use. We should be good. I would like a place to cook a meal, though.
This
Hold
one
on
will
to
be
your art.
difficult to predict.
Here I come.
No escape.
Won't save you. Going in. Right here. I got you.
Severing wind.
Calamity. Going in.
Okay, here I go.
Flying freeze. Look at me just still.
Xion, can you take care of them?
I would love to use Xion to do that. I would love to use Dolly. But they're not usable at the moment.
Denied.
No escape.
Negative gate. Will this help?
No escape.
Stalagmite.
Prepare to be sealed.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alvin.
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you.
I think I made the mistake of not doing it at the right time.
You picked the wrong fight.
Going in.
I definitely didn't do that at the right
Bring
time.
you down from the wind.
Here I come. Vacuum blade. Wind.
Annihilation.
Mirage.
Take this. Not much longer to go.
Come on. One final push.
I'm ready. Do this together.
Totally. In an instant.
Take out the beam. Yee.
Don't get complacent.
23,000 gold. Nice. Ah!
I'll clear the way through.
I've got your back.
Here I
Armor won't save you. Lionheart.
Spread!
Here I come! Vacuum blade!
Not on my call!
Strike!
Ryan Owl! Glacial Spear!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Shield from calamity.
Mirage! Sword Rain Alpha! Coming through!
I don't think I got it.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacial Spear! Frozen!
Hammer! Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast!
You're mine!
I'm all built up!
Hands over!
By the
Hurricane
Radiant!
Get shot! Strike! Escape!
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Elusive deity.
Burn in hell!
Rotating pile driver.
Radiant light! Here!
Ow.
Vacuum blade!
Let the light stand.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I could do without this pain.
Going in!
You're mine!
I'll take you all on!
Mystic Arts, nice.
Flare Demolisher!
Radiant light! Here!
Vacuum
Do it!
Shion!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
I'm ready!
Maybe just a little,
In an instant!
but that's okay.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Ah, I see you over there. That's gonna be a pain to fight.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
Holy cloak.
Found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Alright. Oh wait, crystal. Give me the crystal. Pixie crystal. No other crystal, is there? Okay. Gotta take out this thing. Chrome Gazer.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Take this.
First things first.
Radiant
See if that does something. It doesn't.
Here I go! And careful! It has some kind of camouflage!
Yeah, we faced something like this before.
Hear me! Shield!
Death on the wing.
Lightning strike! Tear! Devastation! Coming through! Ha!
Well, was that not 5? I must
Scarlet
have done
Inferno!
4 and thought it was 5. Or somehow the combo was cut.
Take it up!
Ow.
Knock
Down,
it
boy.
This one's mine!
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
Now I can let loose. I've been carved through armor. That's really performance.
Take this!
Far enough!
Should have waited on that one. Oh well.
Strike! Hurricane Thrust! Mirage! No escape!
Glacial
On your Take this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Does it have a core? No.
Here I
I
come!
think I'm coming down here from the grave.
A chronic inability to read the room?
A malady your art
No more
cannot fix.
playing nice!
Shine.
I'll fix you
Radiant
up.
light. Force of regeneration. Regenerate.
There we go.
Allow me to help you. Anything in armor resonate with the earth.
Ow.
The power of light!
Down, boy.
You picked the wrong fight! You're mine! Vacuum blade!
I can carve through armor.
By the power of water!
Benediction
Flame
light.
of fury! Lunar corruption!
This one keeps
I'm taking
charging
too much
us!
damage!
That's what my shield's for.
Try harder!
If it's in the sky,
Got
it's
it.
mine!
I'll leave it to you!
Where are you going?
I've healed myself.
You're finished! We can do this!
You healed yourself?
Cliche, but appropriate.
I'm counting on you! Hurricane Thrust!
Glacial Spear!
It's in your hands
Train
now.
harder.
Stay away from my friend!
Oh, no, Helene, you went down again.
I'll bring you back
Come on, man.
Place here.
Look sharp.
Vacuum blades!
How about this?
Down! You're off!
Hurricane Thrust! Devastation! Coming through!
Hopefully I did it. Did I do it? No, I didn't do it.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a
Take
healing arc.
this!
First aid!
I don't have much much left. Hurricane! Their arcs were interrupted. Hurricane split!
Here, let me help. First aid!
I missed it.
Here's evil.
Take this!
Freeze Lancer!
No escape!
Okay, I've got her back up so I can use her next time.
This one's mine.
I can carve through armor!
Ow, I died.
Come on. You have to hold on.
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same.
Oh, too shy to come over. Here, let me help.
Confiscated. Lightning!
Imbue this vanquished soul with
Think you can fly? Slag assault.
This one's
It's almost down. We've almost got it.
That'll bring you down. This one's mine.
Sword Rain Alpha! Boost up regeneration! Take this! Regenerate!
I'm out of ammo. Denied. Back into
Okay,
the fray.
here I come.
Oh man.
I'm merely doing what I can. Glad you're on out.
Here's evil.
No, I'm ready!
No.
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Does anyone else think this may be just a bit too tough for us?
Maybe a tiny bit. But that's okay. I can use this as a training ground. Like I generally already tend to do when I'm in the final dungeon. Which I'm pretty sure this is.
I'll clear the way through!
I've got your back.
Take this!
Water, hear my call!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Stay on the
Sword Rain Alpha! Win!
Ow.
Hold on, sounds like a job for you.
Stop it.
Truly.
Sword Rain Alpha! Down on the ground! Now you see what I can do! Take this! I'm not done! Grind you into ignite!
These dogs really want me.
Take this! Dating pile driver! Sword Rain Alpha!
Think you can fly?
Crush! Elusive deity! Dating climbing thrust!
I'm in your debt.
I'm not done! Vacuum blade! Elusive deity! Be still! You're mine!
Stupid dodgy dog. Making it hard for me to do a master art.
Negative going in! Rending you apart! No further! I'm not done!
This one's mine.
You're mine! Down on the ground! Vacuum blade! Elusive deity!
Flame of fury!
Dating pile driver! Mirage!
Hear my call!
I'm not done! You're mine! No escape! This one's
Being interrupted.
You're mine! There! Win! Regenerate! Here I
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore the pain. Now try to be more careful.
Why are you asking that question?
Excellent technique. How are your weapons holding up? That's not to give me any ideas.
Healing circle!
Their arcs were interrupted.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Make it rain! Soaring blood! What? Sword Rain Alpha!
This ends
What was that?
Consider yourself finished!
That was
now,
odd.
Elfin.
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you. Going in. By the power of water.
Deity! Destructive! Resonate with the earth!
Hurricane strike.
Severing wind! Rending you apart!
Ugh.
Vacuum blade! Sword Rain Alpha!
Make it rain.
River!
Astral
I think this is it.
Say
We
no
might have
more.
finished it. Yee, we did. Also, I healed apparently.
Don't push yourself too hard.
God, they really are. Oop, SP accumulated. They really are making this a tough final battle. Or final dungeon. I could probably run around these guys, but you know.
This one's tough! Can't get out of this!
By the power of water.
Oh, you bastard! You dodged it!
That's not even fair.
They smite! Sword Rain Alpha! Chocolate flash! Execution! On your knees!
This one's mine.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Prepare to be sealed, though.
Try harder!
Actually, that sounds more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing. Oh, too shy to come over.
Sword Rain Alpha! Severing Wing! Hurricane Thrust! Take it! Thrust!
Go, Helene, try again.
Think you can fly?
Cool, we did it.
Radiant Light! Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! Now I can let loose!
Here I come!
Go down, boy.
You picked the wrong fight! You're mine! Vacuum Blade!
Shield and face!
Sword Rain Alpha! Take this! I'm not done!
Giving meteor!
I'm mine! Thrust! Now or never! Shockwave Flash! I'll turn you into dust! Thanks! No further! Take this!
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Sword Rain Alpha! Shockwave Flash! Destruction! Coming through!
Nope, didn't make it.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I don't know, it feels like it's getting harder to do that.
Radiant Light! Any more of this and I'll burn out! Alright! The flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Burn!
Appreciate the help. Much obliged.
Taking effect! Sword Rain Alpha!
If it can tell me about it.
Thank you! Thrilling performance!
Bring you down.
I kind of want to know what their unique ways are.
On your knees! Take this! I've been hit with something!
Even a masochist has a limit.
Masochist? Who are you calling a masochist?
Now I can let loose! Everlasting dust!
This isn't ideal.
No, it certainly isn't.
I don't even know the
We're low on healing.
word defeat.
Soaring
This one's mine.
I'll take it down so you can heal.
everlasting dust! I owe you one!
Inferno crush you. I'm out watching.
I owe you
This
one!
one's mine. It's time to finish this.
Yeah.
Die. Consuming wildfire.
Take this!
Burning strike.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Burn up.
Rotating pile driver! Resonate with the earth! You're
Switch tossing.
on your win! Take this!
Let's hear
Hurricane Thrust!
Another incantation ruined.
Mirage!
Well, maybe you should do something about that.
Yearns to be let free! Burn in hell! Shine! Radiant light! Regeneration! Regenerate! Sword Rain Alpha!
Sorry, I didn't want to put you out.
What our friend is for, we can't depend on them.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
It's over!
Annihilation.
Yeah.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
It'll be nice when I can use it. I can't go fast this way. No, okay. Heavy treat. Give me this. Alright, time for 4 of these.
We're in for a long slog with this one. Thank you for all your help.
Please,
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
Look sharp! Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate! Here I come! Okay, here I come! Calamity! You're mine!
Nope.
Sword Rain Alpha! Look sharp! Destruction! Shockwave Flash! Mirage! The flame inside me! Yours! I'll burn it all!
Yeah, I think I got it.
Flaming pillar! Fire! Kisara! Commander of Heavens!
Why am I across the field from that?
Nice technique.
Hurricane Thrust! Mirage! You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite!
Here's a healing hurricane.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Anything
time her bad. You're mine! You're finished!
Primed and ready. Gemini
You're
Alpha!
mine! Take this! There!
Gravitas Field!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Long! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! My turn!
Lightning!
Strike! At least it's
Make it
easy.
ready! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I wonder if this dungeon is going to be as big as
So I still had room to grow.
the ones that we used previously. SP accumulated, cool. Do that. Just double checking that everyone's properly flagged. Where are we now? Oh boy. And it's another mantis thing. I can go that way. Okay, so it's forward. But this is... Yep, this is stuff. Lucky
This
Bangle.
might be some decent equipment.
That'll be great
Anything
for when
that
I'm...
makes battles easier is okay by me.
Before I fight that, I want to look something up. Or, not look something up, but check on something. I just heard someone call my name, so the answer is yes. Dominic! Say what? Okay, I got food. Y'all heard that the Uber driver or the company messed up. And we're missing one of the drinks that we ordered. I didn't get a biscuit with mine. Weird. Honey mustard. I don't need to worry about that. I have some from Wendy's that I never use. Oh, right.
This one will be difficult to predict.
I probably shouldn't go for a drink when I am jumping into battle. Ow. Kisara, stop it.
I think I'll pass on the hand.
It didn't stop it. Nope, it stopped it. Cool.
Look sharp. You're on. Easter.
Healing circle. Switch to
Here I go.
And just like that,
Standing
I'm
forward.
back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
Here I come. Vacuum blade. I can carve through.
I didn't realize I went into the...
Being interrupted.
Hurricane fire. Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
I'll heal you all.
No further.
Healing circle.
You're mine.
Power surge into
Corruption.
I'm not done.
Hurricane
Here I come.
Annihilation.
Down, boy.
You're mine. I owe you one. Sword Rain out. It's go time. Here I come. I'll smash you. It's over.
My head.
Ow.
I'm not done. No further. Take this.
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Yep, that's why I have saved Kisara.
Sword Rain Alpha. Here I come. I'm not done. Severing wind. Soaring line.
Anything in armor is all
It's over. I'll smash you. Here I
Unfortunately, I don't have Kisara again for it.
Not today.
Inferno coverage. I'll take you all on.
But I do have that. Or, she does have that.
Here's a healing arc. I never miss.
Oh, I interrupted the healing arc. Oops.
Here, let me help.
Sword Rain Alpha.
Elusive deity. I've taken too many hits.
In a bind?
Magna Ray. Annihilation.
We're good to keep going.
Here's the evil. I'm ready. Freeze Lancer. Burn up.
Here the flame inside me yearns to be
I didn't. I should not have done that.
Not today!
Ready and raring! First, healing
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
You're mine! No escape!
Who are you talking to? Who's got fluidity of their move?
Sword Rain Alpha! Shockwave Flash!
How about this? Gravitas! Do it!
Yeah!
Look sharp!
Lightning did it.
Looks like it could be worth something.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
A stronger enemy? Well, this might be a bit of a pain.
I'll clear the way through. I've got your back. I'll take you all
get
out of this.
With the mark, here's the healing art.
Severing Wind! Penumbra!
Anything in armor is shield from
Sword Rain Alpha! Wind!
Back into the
Hurricane Thrust!
Hurricane Strike!
Mirage!
Here goes! Here!
Shockwave Flash!
Hurricane ready to go!
Coming through!
I don't think I did it.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Radiant switch on!
No escape! You picked the wrong fight! Back you blade!
This one's mine!
Here I come! Mirage!
This one's mine!
Benediction light.
You're mine! Dead!
What knocked me away? Was it that wheel?
Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
No, it's long! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Benediction
Watch
light.
and weep! This one's mine!
No escape! I'm not done!
I've been doing really great lately.
Good for you, Kisara. So we're gonna have to turn left, right. But what's over here?
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Here I go!
Come one, come all! Sword Rain Alpha!
Throbs in pain.
In a vine? is driving me mad!
The other one jumped away. I thought I was gonna get both of them.
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
You picked the wrong fight!
No dawn shall break this night. I'll face you.
Sword Rain Alpha! Win!
Ready to go!
Here I come!
Denied!
It's over!
Now or never.
Devastation! Mirage! Take this! Okay, here I go!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
Oh, wrong person.
Really don't.
Or enemy. Whatever.
Take this!
Wow, I'm a back up in it.
It's on! Vacuum Blade! Shockwave Flash!
Going in!
Can you take it?
Mirage! Eagle Ray! I'll burn it all!
There we go. Even though it's just for a beat.
Flaming Pillar! Fire! My turn!
You made short work of that one.
I'm sorry. Having trouble keeping up?
Go on right behind you.
I thought you more defensively minded.
Defense via threat eliminate.
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Hurricane Thrust! Too fast!
Stand back.
It's fine, I got it. I got it handled. I'm just taking care of it until Dohalim can do his thing.
Sword Rain Alpha! Now I can let loose.
Shine.
Severing Wind!
Dohalim, do your thing.
He who prepares is free from regret.
Down on the ground! Sword Rain Alpha! Shockwave Flash! Vacuum Blades!
Take it!
Here I am! Can you take it? The blade inside is yours to be let free!
Reflect on thy sin. They
You're finished! Destruction! Sword Rain Alpha!
Can you stop jumping around? Gee.
No art of being interrupted.
Take Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Not today!
Regenerate!
Now we're not sure!
My will!
He who prepares.
In a bind! I'm not done!
He who prepares.
Not in a bind, but I'm wanting to bind it.
Resonate with the earth!
For some reason, I thought that was the last one.
Air pressure! Mirage! Do it! It's over! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
I can feel my precision improving.
Oh my god, this is gonna be rough.
Hey, look at that enemy. It's shining.
It'll take more than that to break my shield.
Dependable for last.
I don't feel so good.
Then it's best
How am I already almost dead?
It can hide itself? Amazing!
I'll take you all on.
This may have been a mistake.
Flare Demolisher! Here goes! Here's a healing art!
Imbue this vanquish!
We're playing nice! Radiant Pierce!
Imbue this vanquished soul with resuscitation!
Not like this!
Not done yet!
This is my fault.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Where are you going?
Oh, I interrupted. Shit.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
That was dumb of me.
I won't give up! Fight! Going... A new lease on life!
Shine! Radiant light!
I can't heal you forever!
Anything in armor is all
How do you like being
couldn't make
pounded
it in
into
time.
shape?
Damn it. Well, this is a problem.
Feel the medicine working.
Shine!
Water! My call!
Of regeneration!
Thank you for that.
I'm already down to this.
Let's get back into it.
Can't get out of this!
Spread! Healing! Flame of fury!
I can't take much more.
Shine! Sword Rain Alpha! Force of regeneration!
It's in your hands.
You'll pay for that! Vacuum blade!
Hang foot!
Shuffling blood! Destruction! Flaming flood! Devastation! Tear!
I'll bring you back
Devastation!
from death's abyss!
Searing
Fucking
gale!
shit.
Resuscitation!
Stupid thing running around made it impossible for me to do the thing.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! How about okay?
Imbue this vanquished soul with
I'm ready! Now my clothes are ruined.
Now my clothes are ruined. Ah.
shall break this night.
Why'd you heal me?
Stop me dying? Here, let me help! I don't even know the word defeat.
Soaring blood!
Torn up!
I made a mistake getting a private both of these at the same time.
You have to hold on!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with
Go down so this is easier.
resuscitation! Look sharp! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm ready to go!
Being interrupted.
Not like this.
Coming through.
Oh, come on. That was more than 5.
Now. Scarlet Inferno.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life. Instinct sharpened.
Here I come.
Let me help.
Vacuum blade.
First aid.
In a bind.
Ah!
What the?
Stay away from my friend.
I only have 2 life bottles left.
What was I thinking?
And I'm
Here. Let me help.
problematic.
There's a healing art.
Give me.
I owe you one.
Beckon into everlasting darkness. Negative gate.
Saving that for later.
Annihilation.
Imbue vanquished soul
Here
with life.
Resuscitate. Glacial Spear. Where are you going?
Dohalim! Damn it!
Ah! Sword Rain Alpha. Burn.
You know what? This fight is too much.
Glacial Fire. Resuscitation. Look sharp. I'll heal you all. Inferno crossing. Here's a healing art. What the? Fall back. I'll hold them off.
I'm gonna come back later when I'm stronger. Oh, cool. They just disappear. Fast travel. I need to go back to the entrance. And get more items.
We've reached our destination.
Why do I have to go to the landing gear to decide this? That's kind of weird. Alright.
We should be able to cook here.
First things first, I need food.
I can't eat anymore.
Good.
I love how much amazing food we get to eat even when we're out on the road.
Me too. Especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver-spooned elite for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your cooking has really improved, Shion.
Uh-oh.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious.
Oh, she's eating it while
indeed.
cooking.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Shion here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions as of late. Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that...
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Wow, okay, we're gonna go with this.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
Nothing.
What were you going to say, Law?
Shion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean?
You can
How
feel
is
pain.
what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because
I
you can
care
feel pain
about you.
again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. It was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take.
Well, then
Is
you
that a
should.
crazy thing to say?
That's gonna be
No,
pretty hard when
it
she's in
isn't.
battle with
and
you.
I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
Alright. We got some new stuff, right? Do I have any more defense up stuff? I think Curry's still the best defense up I have. Yep, it is.
That turned out good, if I do say so myself.
Alright,
Sure.
everyone, let's talk.
Could we talk a moment?
I thought you had something to talk about. I was waiting on you.
Not really. Why? Should I leave you alone when I don't?
No, it's fine.
We used to really have to force these conversations when we started talking to each other, didn't we?
To say the least. Hey,
What is it?
do you think you'd like to make something together?
Make
what?
exactly?
Just if you wanna make dinner together. What did you think I meant?
Huh? Dinner? Oh, dinner! Yes! Yes, of course! Dinner!
I was thinking crafting,
Right.
honestly.
What did you think I was talking about?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Well, do you recognize these ingredients?
This is... Wait, is this?
So you remember? That's right. We're going to fix the very first meal we ever had together. Although I remember it not being well received when we had it.
You still remember that, huh? I'm sorry, Shion.
I'm just teasing you, Alphen. I picked this recipe because it's easy to make, and I thought it would be a good choice for dinner, too. Anyway, let's get to work. With both of us making it, we should be finished in no time.
I never thought we'd end up eating alone like this again. Just the two of us.
Yeah. So much has changed when you look back on it. Well, I guess maybe not what we're eating, but still.
No, I'd say even that's changed too, in a sense. Our meals are a whole lot better now.
True. We've both come quite a long way in the culinary arts.
That's not exactly what I mean. How do I put it? It feels like eating together is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Okay, no los dos.
Even after our battles are done, when Dhana is saved and our mission is finished, we'll probably still be sitting down to dinner like this, night after night.
Yep, I doubt that much will change. You've always got to eat at some point.
I hope our dinners will always feel like this.
Maybe not exactly like this. Hopefully we won't still be camping out.
Oh, no, not at all. I meant in a nice, warm house. One with a roof over our heads and a proper fireplace, instead of an open campfire.
And real chairs instead of these logs. Nice plates and silverware on a big dining table. Oh, and a proper kitchen. That'd be nice too.
And when it's time to fix dinner,
God, this is
we'll
long.
be in that kitchen.
Standing
It's cute,
side
but it's
by
long.
side.
I'm so sick of these being so long. Oh.
Whoops. Looks like we made too much. I don't think we'll be able to finish all this.
Please, Shion can eat a
you're
lot
right.
more.
I'll see if anybody else is still awake. I'd really hate to have to throw it away.
Side by side, huh?
I'm looking forward to breakfast.
Explosive charge. Ooh, she got her master
Morning.
art. Nice.
Ready to head out?
All right. Mr. Merchant Man. Sell for a lot of money. Oop, hold on. $19 rat pig meat. Okie dokie. Sell. $69, nice. Unfortunately, I have to break that because I'm gonna sell. Oop, I saw that. I missed the 76 up there. Did I miss more? I think at this point my brain's kind of fried from all the cutscenes and stuff. Okay. Grape gel's good. Well, since I'm going to be doing grinding tomorrow, I'm not going to bother with the items until I get stuff set up. So, wow, that's a lot of weapons. Holy crap. Gladius Rene is weaker than what I have, so I don't need to make anything for him. Let's go ahead and make that. Blue shield. Caduceus Rene. Is it a Caduceus Clay Rene? And Historia Rene. Whoa. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, everyone has a powerful weapon now. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night early. Mainly because, like, this is going to just be all grind from here on out and collecting stuff. Ooh, intertwining hearts. Got an achievement. So, like, I'm going to spend the next day or tomorrow, my day off, just grinding out a whole bunch of weapons and stuff so that I can, like, have the strongest. And also dealing with a whole bunch of different side missions. I want to be stronger when I come back here. At least level 50. All right. I also have to go to the bathroom really bad, so thank you for everything that I need to thank you for. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm just gonna end it because I gotta go to the bathroom bad. I'll be back Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.